Hey guys, this is another ranked match. This is after the fact, just a replay. This is against Cavalier. He's playing HRE, and we are playing on Lipany. Been having kind of a pretty tough run today. A couple of wins, but more losses than anything. And really good start here. 4 sheep. And gold right next to TCR. Ubu's a little far out there, but it's going to be okay. We are rallying a second scout out. Even if he only collects 1 sheep, it's technically worth it. So I've been starting to do second scout quite a bit. We do run through here. Since he is on this closer angle on this mini map here, I'm going to cut to the wide and get where he hasn't, because he's probably gotten this close area. And it's a super aggressive sheep strat that he's doing. So I'm really happy that I did go for two scouts. If we look back here, there really wasn't a lot of sheep for him to pick. So he got a little bit unlucky there. Over here, he hasn't gotten super lucky on his sheep collection either. He's got a nice gold. It is a little forward, a little bit dangerous. Stone is a little bit, dangerous, but in the back. And we do run by each other again here. I see he's got 3 sheep. So over here, we're catching a good amount of sheep as well. And we're just looking against HRE to get to H2 quickly and get a bunch of Mangudai out to deny as much map control as possible. He's going to want to rotate to deer or get relic control. And so we're just, or he might just fast castle. So either way, we're trying to catch him in that process. We do have 7 sheep. He got 4 over here and 2 over here. So he's got a really lucky, unlucky sheep collection. And so he's running back through where I've already ran through. So we got kind of lucky with ours. In a sense, we're going to pick up a lot more sheep than he does. We've got 8 here and 4 here. So we got a really big sheep haul, which is super nice. I can't emphasize enough, having this many sheep early is a pretty big deal. That being said, it just doesn't feel good sometimes as Mongols to go that second scout, because you're already a villager behind. Getting basically almost 2 villagers behind, it can be pretty rough. Though a lot of players do go scout, so maybe it's just 1 villager behind. So again, I already know he scouted up here, but I just want to scout it up just to see what I have. I know with that extra sheep that I was going to have a little bit of extra gather time here, though we are having 1 idle villager now, unfortunately. But we're getting our age up timing now, so a little bit late, later than I'd like. So we pull our 4 vills, and we're going to drop the deer stones. I have been abandoning the silver tree a lot recently. On this map, it is semi-viable, but it's pretty tough on Lipany because you gotta really establish that control before you really go for it. I mean, I guess I can. I could try to hold like a choke point here, but I don't know. I don't think it's really that ideal. So I've been abandoning the silver tree a lot recently, and just planning on doing 2 TC or single TC kind of strats. So yeah, we get 12 sheep. He's got 5 here, and he dropped off his other sheep over here. So he's taking up with the Aachen Chapel, and it's a little bit late on his tap up time too. He's definitely over collecting on sheep or on food. Yeah, so he's got too much food in the bank. So he over collected on food and not enough on gold. He might be just trying out HRE, I'm not sure. So we're gonna just send our scouts up to scout some areas and get some good information on him. He's doing the same, it looks like. And here we're at 6 villagers on wood, and this is where I pull them off of wood. I'm just going to stay on 6. I felt like a lot of times, even with 5 villagers on food, I age up and then I don't have enough to crank out villagers and that first set of Mangudai. So I'm feeling more comfortable rotating at 6 villagers and then kind of going a bit more up on food there, or onto wood. Coming to the scout, we're kind of harassing here. We do see this tower going down. We're definitely not going to stop it, but we can kind of harass him a little bit. It's just kind of annoying, really. I'm down to 36 health. And we're just going to run away. I guess he could have garrisoned, so that's why we ran. And we pulled 2 our villagers from Deerstones on the gold, and the other 2 to build an archery range as quick as possible. Since we are playing against HRE, I'm going to take one of these villagers to walk over to these relics and start building towers. And my other villager is dropping a blacksmith, which turned out to be kind of a waste because I didn't use it efficiently. But we are cranking out our Mangudai now. His scout runs into our villager here. He does a good job of noticing, and he's going to chase us down, try to kill us. And he's up to feudal now. And we are scouting. If we check out just our vision here, scouting the backside of his base, and so we know he's not going for second TC. We see his barracks, no military coming out, and the big thing is we've got Mangudai coming over to try to help this villager, hopefully in time, because we are trying to drop a tower onto this relic. And we're out rallying more villagers here. Thankfully, with our big sheepo, we don't have to worry about that very much. And we do pull our combat to kind of help. He has the arrow. It's pretty important that our villager doesn't die here. So I try to get the speed boost, and we just have to kind of run our villager around in circles, trying to kind of mess with the scout a little bit here. And he has to pull off, and so we survive with 8 life. If we didn't micro it, we probably would have lost him. And we do have 2 more Mangudai coming over and a couple more in production. So we come over here, we see he's rotating onto berries. We get a really good timing here on these berries. And we're able to kind of harass him off of it. And take a little bit of fire. But we're not going to let him really set up here. And we are shooting this outpost. Again, if you are an HRE player, don't delete this for, just having me sit here and demo it forever. It's going to take a long time. So when you delete it, you just give me the resource and you kind of free me up in terms of what I can do with these guys. And so I kind of figure he's using the wood to do something else. I do have a scout in the back here, and we scout these 7 villagers. We have been rallying Mangudai around the backside here because I was setting them up and the tower over here on this other relic. So we got 3 Mangudai on the way over there. We got no Mangudai in production here. But we do put 1 more villager. The villager that built these 2 went over onto wood, and we're just rallying villagers onto food at this point. And our scout was kind of fighting here. I kind of let him sit and fight a little bit, kind of delay those villagers a little bit, and kind of make him feel that he was kind of winning that fight. And we're getting arrow slits in this tower up here, and Mangudai over, and our villagers over here. And we get over here in time. And he was trying to quick build as many walls as he could. Get here in time, and we're going to be able to kill all of these villagers. We're sending a Mangudai up here, but we do, pull off a couple to take care of these 2 that peel off and go the other way. And so we get these 7 villagers dead, which is really big because now we're at 29 eco, and he's at 19. A little bit behind on eco in general. Besides that 7 villagers that I just killed, or 8. So our Mangudai, we have 1 Mangudai down here, and over here we just pull this army that's got a unified on these 6 Mangudai, and we're just going to rotate him to the front. I don't want him to be on those berries again, so I'm going to check that out and kind of make sure we got good vision. But we are dropping the tower here, so we're getting really good vision in terms of what he's doing in the base. We do know he has a tower on this gold, so we weren't all really worried about it. Reaches castle. He does a really good job of casting up. So I know he's castle, and this is kind of what always happens with HRE. So I'm trying to pick a little bit of villagers here on the wood line. Just kind of, hopefully there's a couple here, because I knew he wasn't on this wood. We can't really get an angle here, so we just kind of pull back. No sense in losing our troops there. And we're quite a ways from teching up. And we see a scout, and we're just rallying some more Mangudai to the front here. We have another relic up here. So since we're Castle Age, there's definitely the possibility of him kind of pushing out. He knows I have map control, so I guess it's smart of him knowing that and not trying to force the issue. And he's got a stable up. He has built a market, which is probably a good choice to kind of stabilize his eco. So he has everything he kind of needs for now, so it might have been a little bit of a waste. And Regnitz. So we put a bunch of our villagers onto deer here. His scout runs by, and his scout almost gets away, but he runs back into TC range, and or tower range, and if it didn't, we did have 3 more Mangudai here. So we're rallying a good mass of Mangudai here, and his scout was checking out for this monk. So he pulls that monk back and realizes that is blocked. We have 2 towers here to kind of really defend this. If there's knights, it's going to take a couple towers shooting and Mangudai migrating around just to really take him down efficiently. And at this point, we've basically established full map control because he is not pushing out, and we can tell because of our. So he's only got 3 military and 22 villagers, so he's definitely way behind on his macro play. So we're just kind of getting in range of this mill and just kind of harassing him, chunking it down a little bit. And we do get vision on his Regnitz. And yeah, throughout here, we're just dropping a bunch of towers, getting a lot of really established vision, and we are rallying Mangudai up to the front here. And we are getting our first upgrade for our steel arrows, because if he has knights out, that's going to be definitely our biggest issue. And we've just gone up a little bit in wood, up to 12, to really make sure we stabilize with our wood income. And we did get wheelbarrow because we're kind of needing it. I should have dropped a tower here, and I think I eventually do because these guys are moving really long distance for deer. And militarily, we've got 18. Still got 3, so you can tell he's not really trying to like push out and establish himself on the map. He's just turtling, and he's sacrificing these relics basically at this. I mean, he lost a lot of villagers early, so that was definitely a really big hit to his eco because he was going for those deers. And once this gets down, he's just gonna emergency repair it. But we do get the bounty, which is a little bit sloppy on his part. We are aging up with the step readout. We pull almost all of our gold villagers onto here. We pull some of our food villagers on, and we pull some of our wood villagers on, and we do shift click him back. I wanted to age up as quick as possible. I thought he was just massing a bunch of knights and he was going to be pushing out here soon, so I was trying to just get ready for that inevitability. And at this point, we have pulled over another villager from the wood line, and he's building infrastructure. Got the second up, and now I'm just waiting for enough wood to build a prayer tent immediately. Our Ubu has been idle, unfortunately, for some time now, which is not very good. And his eco was definitely a little bit exposed here to some raids, so I definitely could have been raiding here with these Mangudai. Again, I wanted him to kind of make the decision in terms of which one he was going to push out for with his army. I guess I definitely could have come in here and raided, and if I shut down his wood earlier, this game definitely would have been a little bit shorter. And I would have forced a tower out here. So, as well as these towers that built over here, this tower's okay. An even better tower would have been up here. A tower right here would have been huge. So I had the army definitely to do it, to hold him. I just didn't realize, like, I have really good vision in terms of around his base. I'm gonna know when he's pushing out and stuff. But I'm just overly macro. It's just kind of a general theme for today, unfortunately. To get the pair turned up, and we're getting a new Uvu. That I'm a little bit over focused on the macro play and not enough on the micro aggression early. Because getting C's workshop up, it's a good move, and something that I do have to work on doing more immediately. Monkey's getting out, and our Mangudai upgraded to veteran. So we got a really nice military force right now. We're at 18, and he's at 9, and he's kind of massing his army here. And I'm gonna try picking up all these relics. We are gonna start producing more monks, and we do have vision of his army here, so we see that he's not got that big of an army. But again, I honestly thought there was going to be a tower here or something already at this point, and that's why I wasn't ready. And that was just a bad call on my part. Especially as Mongols, this type of early aggression would have been huge. If I had shut this down here early on, I could have killed all these guys. A big thing is in Castle 2 is he gets this stone, and he's able to drop a couple of keeps. So if I had harassed through here during this time, it would have been really big. He doesn't really have the army to deal with it. If we had shut down his wood production, he wouldn't have had archers or anything like that. So again, just kind of overly passive, I'd say. I kind of did it all day today. I had like an hour and a half match against England. Just not wanting to commit to a lot of hard pushes and letting my opponent kind of stay in the game, unfortunately. I mean, I'm definitely way ahead, and I don't think he can come back from this. He's housed, he's at 37 eco, and we're at 52 eco, so we got a really solid lead here. This wolf is trying to kill my villagers. We're going to hopefully kill this wolf. Villagers at 14. Okay. Okay, well, we run... well, we run as close as possible, it looks like. So we're picking up the 3 relics. Oh, and he gets a Treb out, yep. So he's trebbing out our outpost, which isn't a bad move. But it's really a slow burn, I guess. And so we lose some vision here. And I do see this barracks coming up. Oh, yeah, that's right. He was pulling a bunch of villagers to drop a TC. I totally missed it. I guess I wasn't watching the mini. Oh, they're looking at my wolf instead. Sorry about that. But he sent out a bunch of villagers. I wonder if we can check his eco. Yeah, he's at 29. So he lost like 10 vills. He pulled over a bunch of vills to drop a second TC over here. I've got a tower. I got great vision. I got another scout over here. I can spot the wall. We're able to take that out. He brings the Treb over and he sieges down my tower. And we just give him a little bit of space there, which is okay. Big thing is we've picked up all the relics that are kind of in risky places. The first 3 that are really on his side. And now we're going to pick up ours. We are dropping a second prayer tent so we can pick up the other ones. And yeah, eco's doing really good. We're at 57. Again, at this point, 18 minutes. I almost feel like it's almost always worth it to rotate. Since I got 2 siege workshops up, I got 3 stables, 2 ranges. This would have been a good time to just mass wood up for a market and a second TC. 100%. Because I felt like the ramp up of after this, behind this, was a little bit slow. Like if I was playing a 2 TC turtle here, and they built that second TC in the back of his base, which he builds it right here. But if he had done that earlier, if we were going against France or China, I think I probably would have caught up to me. He punches us here, and he's trebbing us down, but his treb is kind of out of position. We see it, and we take advantage. And we're just going to pull our horses back and out of there and try to catch these archers, which we do. And lose a few horses, but we get the treb, which is a really big deal. That's a lot of resources for him. It's really expensive. It's going to be tough for him to afford that. And our Mangudai are kind of enough of a screen to ward him off here. So that's a nice play that we're able to hold him back. And now he's kind of booming up his eco. Villagers are idle on the berries, and we're going to move Over to deer, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, we'll build a tower and then have him on deer. Stat readout has also finished mined out gold, so we just build a tower, go on the gold vein, and we're still building more villagers here, and we have 16 villagers on wood. And we are starting to build siege, so we're building trebuchet or springolds first because we knew he was he had the counterweights and he's going to kind of slow push us back if we don't have any response to that. And we see his knights here. And we don't see the castle. It's just out of range, and we have our condet, so that's the big thing. We don't have any scouts in our army, unfortunately, which is kind of bad. We are raiding the backside of his base finally with 9 and 15 Mangudai, and we're just gonna pull out. Unfortunately, lose a little bit. That's a little bit sloppy on my part, routing him like that. So from 9 and 15, it should have been 23. We've got 8. So we lose a lot of Mangudai there. Definitely not worth it. His keep starts shooting at us, at which point we realize what we kind of have going on here. We pull back our monks, pull back our knights, pull back our siege. We pull back all of our rally points as well. Yeah, so we pull back all of our rally points, and a new con is up. And we're getting our eco upgrades too. We're late, but we're starting to get them. We are running on 7 pastures, and they're starting to. Villages are starting to catch up to our pasture count, so we will have to start dropping some more pastures here. Behind this, we haven't stopped infrastructure with 2 villages this whole time. Didn't want to get outmassed from like a turtle. I played a couple matches before this where they just turtled and were able to outmass me with infrastructure, so I didn't want that to happen again. I do see these guys tapping up their tower, so I just try to snipe them with the springald. Take one out, but we do dive their archers with our knights. Our Mangudais are just kiting back these knights and the spearmen. And when he pulls back the spears and stuff, we just kind of have to fall back. We also want to go into the... And he's just kind of in a bad place in terms of being able to push us there, so he just falls back again. The big thing, he's kind of establishing control, and he's kind of pushed out of his base a little bit here. So he's kind of happy there. At this point, I noticed that if he pushes me again like that, I need some serious firepower to my army besides the Mangudai. So I'm getting mangonels out now. And we're running off of 5 relics, so that's really nice. And we are capping sacred sites, so I didn't want to cap them too early, all of them, and get them like worried, I guess, like pushing out on us. I really wanted him to kind of focus this fight here on us, and this is where his gold is at pretty much. I wonder if he went for this gold. He never does go for this gold. Probably worried that I had still forces here, and I only had 2 Mangudai. Oh, I guess I was raiding back here. I'm just not paying attention, I guess. So I idle his eco here again, which is a good move. And we just gonna have to pull back with these Mangudai here. We are sending a scout to burn down this palisade wall as well. And are dropping some more pastures now. Just rallying on the food, and we are up to 20 on wood. So I'm just kind of grabbing a couple villages from here and sending them over to wood, just to make my macroing a little bit easier. Now we got a couple mangonels. So this is a kind of like a little later than I guess probably should have, but this is a really strong point for my army, or any army really, once you get mangonels up. Capping the second sacred site. And infrastructure. Oh yeah, we're building up here some more infrastructure. So outpost with a springald tower and more archery ranges up front. And we are starting to get our blacksmith upgrades as well. I'm going to cap the other sacred site. We get income. We come through in a raid down here. We stop this tower from going up, and with a good timing, we get pretty lucky there. And I figured he might be rotating his army back here, which he is. And we're rotating out in time here, which is nice. Probably just gonna leave those archers down there. But now he secured stone, he secured gold with his keep here. And he's got a front gold over here. He's still got a stone onto the side here, nice big deposit. So I know he's can be pushing and pushing out to the left here. I do have kind of stifled here at the bottom. It's not super solid my position here. I only got a couple of arrow towers, so those will go down super easy. So I'm sending my monk over, but I'm not gonna put him right on the relic or on the sacred side. I'm just put it to the side. Going up to more pastures now. We're starting to fall behind there, and our wood is finishing. So these villagers are coming over to kill the boar. We're trying to aggro the boar with our tower here, and since we only have 8 villagers, I don't want to lose them. Keep him out of the boar range while he fights there. And all these wood villagers that are going idle, we're gonna pull, and we're gonna send half of them up here. Then we're gonna move them over to this wood lines over here, and pull these remaining villagers over there. Boars down, Gers set up, 8 villagers collecting, and we are looking to age up. So we pull 27 villagers to tap up real quick, and then we're going to up pastures, and we're going to get a total of 14. So we're definitely going to be a little bit short in terms of pasture count here, which isn't good. The step readout is getting repositioned to this front gold. These wood over here finally. And our siege mass is looking okay. We don't have trebs out yet. Again, I felt like if I'm just used to fighting, I guess, a little bit more aggressive or a little bit better opponents, I guess. Like they got a really strong, massive archers, which isn't bad since I got so many Mangudai. It's not a bad comp. I'm just used to a lot more knights, I guess, or men at arms. And if the second I build trebs, they're gonna be pushing me and stuff. And he was actually pretty passive, so I didn't have to worry about it too much. I do have my shaman on the side here, and yeah, we're getting a bunch of upgrades: tithe barn, superior mobility, roller shutter triggers, elite Mangudai. So we're getting a bunch of upgrades here, and our wood is suffering a little bit. We have reset up this gur, set up another gur down here, so our villagers are just going to town. He is dropping another castle here. So this castle I can see going up. And again, there isn't much I can do, nor that I want to do. I didn't want to trigger a preemptive fight. I've lost a lot of matches like getting this preemptive fight and then getting pushed back and then not being able to hold the push if my army loses the upfront battle. At this point, 87 eco, 88 military, and he's at 62 eco, 58 military. So I mean, it's losable, the fight. I think I could swarm him and just overwhelm, but these aren't to be underestimated and do a lot of damage. So I am finally getting a couple traction trebuchets out, upgrading to elite lancers, adjustable crossbars for my mangonels, biology, and I'm getting a bunch of upgrades. I'm also going to get improved roller shutter triggers. So we're gonna start kind of slow sieging here. We don't notice this this wolf killer villager. Our villager had almost no life as well, so a bit unfortunate. But I'm gonna just prep to set up trade lines just in case. And we haven't capped the sacred site yet. I think when I start sieging is when I cap the sacred site, because I want him to split his forces between fighting us on these two sides. We get an okay raid here. A little bit of idle time on his wood line. A little bit of idle time on his food. And we just killed a couple of villagers, so. We clicked our Mangudai to run around the side up here. I totally forgot that it's walled, so we're not able to. We run in front of his TC. And all of our Mangudai pretty quick. It's pretty impressive how quick the Mangudai go down to arrows. Guess I need more wedge rivets. So we do see his Springholds coming up. We are getting our roller shutter triggers. So they're just finishing out, and we take a couple pot shots here. We're adjusting our we were hitting here, and he kind of bait and uses his improved or his emergency repairs on this tower, and we're gonna get some shots onto this keep. Now it's on cooldown, and this is getting so definitely gonna go down. I don't think he's gonna have it in enough time. Our mangonels, we got 4 mangonels. It's pretty fast. It's gonna do quite a bit of damage. The springhold's coming up. We're gonna pull our springs up. Longer range than his, so we're gonna definitely be able to get the shot in. Also being Impage is a really nice advantage right now. And there isn't much he can do. He can see my big cavern. He can see my Mangudai. He can see my towers. He can see I've got an infrastructure building, and he can see I got a couple of knights on that treb. So any attempt that he kind of has in pushing us isn't going to really work. Down here is 5 more seconds. So we got a pretty clutch timing in terms of taking down this castle by baiting this one out first. So that was pretty nice. Happy about that. We do get a little pick up here on this on the Springholds, which again really nice. And he's not going to save. He's not going to use that ability again to do this. And the only bad thing with having 2 traction trebuchets is like, oh wow, he actually does. Is that the traction trebuchets do good damage, but again, like to take down a keep against HRE with emergency repairs, you have to time it really good. You have to get a really good timing. You have to be sieging it down, basically, like while he's emergency repairing something up. But we're pop max 92 eco. Is it 70? And we have capped sacred sites now. So over here, there's a wolf. We're gonna kill it, thankfully, and we're just gonna kind of slowly tread down everything, and we're getting a bunch of monastic shrines. They improved mangonel shots, so it's gonna be 10% faster than it was before. And we're just sniping off some spearmen since we got strongholds. And we see his force kind of prepping to push up, and we're just kind of pulling, and we're just readjusting our army. We just kind of wanted to tilt or pivot and come in from this side. Stat readout is finished, so we're gonna pull them up to where we are pulling them. Okay, back to this back gold. I mean, there is this front gold, so that might have been a better idea, but no biggie. Again, we're just playing a super slow pace here. Again, probably not super necessary at this point, I think we definitely could have shut this out a little bit earlier, but again, I've just been playing a lot of matches where I'm a little bit maybe over careful, and and I've just lost some pretty bad battles where I felt like I had a lead and I just kind of blew it. So we switched to his guys. You see these mangonel shots and just how they just decimate hunks of his army here. And we are microing our springholds onto his springs, and we only lose a couple springholds here. He loses his 3, and mangonel's retargeting onto the archers. His whole army gets wiped, and he's just gonna GG out of it. The keep is getting tread down. He might have his emergency repairs. Yeah, I guess he does have emergency repairs up, but again, I mean, you can use it, but I think he kind of realized it was kind of over at this point. Yeah, and he's just trying to kind of harass us on the side. So we kill all these villagers, and yeah, he's kind of had enough of it. So it was a good match. It's just a little bit early aggro. That early H2 presence was good, but we definitely gave up an opportunity to shut him down completely by not raiding this woodline a little bit more aggressively with our Mangudai over here on the side. So it was a good match. Definitely a few things to learn, and yeah, you can see a bunch of defeats there. So I've been playing pretty kind of passive and stuff, and trying to boom and stuff, and just not been working out so hot. So thanks again for watching, guys, and I'll catch you on the next one.